What is up, though, Lions fans? The Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static, but whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. I am joined by a very special guest today, Mr. Lion Syndicate himself, Mr. I'm going to make it do what it do, baby. Derek from Lion Syndicate. What's going on, man?
What up, though? What's up, Motor City Don? Good to be on with you, my friend. You know, it's a miscommunication at the beginning of everything, but, you know, we got it worked out, and that's what we do.
Yes, sir.
So we here in front of the people trying to get them a show today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, somebody said that they thought we were beefing.
Me beefing? Come on, man. I heard something wrong. Beefing? No, let me clear the air. You know, it was after.
All right, go ahead.
It was after the game won the opening game of the season. Somebody came into the chat. They had said something, and then I kind of mentioned you in a way that was completely unnecessary. And then I hit my man up on the side like what a man's supposed to do. I apologized. He was like, "It's all good. Appreciate you." And here we are, right? So I knew I was out of line. I spoke up, spoke out, and made things right. So we ain't no beef. Come on, man. Listen, I'm done with the beef, especially with the black men, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta keep it 100. And I want everybody to shine no matter what you look like. But my brothers, I'm giving y'all some special love because it's too much of that today.
That's right. That's right. Too much internal hate and not enough internal getting together.
Yeah, that's right.
So we got some people rolling in the chat. We got J-Rod. We got Here's Johnny. We got Denzel Vance. Who's that? Vandy Gaming or Vondi Gaming. What up, though, to everybody in the chat? So we're going to go in and out of the chat. Obviously, I know Derek likes to talk to the chat. I like to talk to the chat. So we'll keep that what it is. But we're here to talk about, well, the Detroit Lions path to the Super Bowl. And obviously, we're going to be talking about some things going on in the NFL, around the NFL, and with your Detroit Lions. So there is no soapbox to get on, but I will get on a bit of a soapbox. And I'm not talking to you Lions fans, because you Lions fans already knew the deal. I want to talk to these goddamn Rams fans and these goddamn Vikings fans. Kirby Joseph. He's a dirty player. Okay, I'm looking at you, Matthew Stafford. One day, I want Matthew Stafford to see this. And then I want him to realize that he's stuck with Kelly Stafford. Okay, but Matthew Stafford sowing the seeds of discord, talking about how Kirby Joseph is a dirty player, this, that, and the third thing. It got the players to thinking. And it got the Vikings fans and the Rams fans to thinking, because they can't beat us. But the players is probably what hurt the most. Because you are the guys that are, you know, vacationing together in the summer and the off season, and going to Cabo and, you know, going to camps and sharing knowledge and things of this nature. And y'all let that dude get into your mind and help you believe that Kirby Joseph is a dirty player. How many fines did Kirby Joseph get from the NFL? If he's so dirty, why was he not fined? Why was he not flagged for any of those hits? So then the players and the coaches kept that man out of the Pro Bowl. And I said, don't nobody care about the Pro Bowl. Don't nobody care about the Pro Bowl. I don't even watch. I don't even remember the last time I watched the Pro Bowl. I don't watch none of the festivities. Okay, I'll see some clips on X with the little skills challenges, and they look cool. Okay, but I think since the Pro Bowl left Hawaii, I stopped watching it. And now it's literally flag football. And Kirby Joseph said, I don't really care nothing about that anyway because I wasn't gonna go because I plan on playing in the Super Bowl. But the AP, all pro teams, the ones that matter, came out and said to you, Vikings fans, you LA Rams fans, you Green Bay Packers fans, you Chicago Bears fans, whatever fan you are, that Kirby Joseph is a first team all-pro safety. Do with that what you will. You can say what you want to say, but when you say it, make sure you address him as first team all-pro Kirby Joseph. What do you think about that, Derek?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think the Pro Bowl is a popularity contest, and I'm with you. I didn't even watch it in Hawaii, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. After Kobe passed the day of the Pro Bowl, I told myself I would never watch it again, and I have never watched anything related to it. And I mean, that's what it is, a popularity contest. So I think you're right about Matthew Stafford having that kind of shifting the players' minds, because I saw an article that TJ Hutchinson said, look, I'm not putting the blame on Kirby, I'm putting it on the league. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if you're outweighed by 50 pounds, 25 pounds, you're going to go low and you're going to try to keep it legal. But this is a fast sport. Things happen. Body trajectory changes. Sometimes you get caught up. And I don't think that, holding him out of the Pro Bowl because he's an alleged dirty player is just wrong to me. Is wrong. But he got his with the All Pro, and All Pro is really where it's at. Pro Bowl is popularity contest. All Pro is really where it's at. So Kirby, he got his, man. And you know what, bro? I think honestly, it's going to add to the chip on the shoulder for these guys. Our whole team is built off of that type of narrative, the chips on the shoulder, castaway guys, from our quarterback, the leader of the team, to Brian Branch getting snubbed in the first round, Kirby Joseph, Jameson Williams, all them guys, man. And I think that if Kirby was playing lights out, he about to be playing pitch black come up this playoff season. Interception leader is going down. So he's going to play better. He's going to be better. He's in line for a huge payday too. I'm seeing anywhere from 70 to 92 million for 4 years from what I see, what the, trajectory online is. So Kirby, man, is a dog better than I actually thought he was going to be. But as far as this Pro Bowl, man, and all that stuff, it's a shame that one player can kind of change the narrative of a person. But Kirby got his with the All Pro, and that's where it mattered. He said, and like you said, he looking for the Super Bowl. He ain't thinking about the Pro Bowl games. He trying to get, did it hurt incentive wise? Yeah. But he trying to get that Lombardi. So he wouldn't even be participating anyway. You know what I'm saying? So let's go get what really mattered, man, the Super Bowl trophy.
That's right. That's right. And if you look at the Lions, okay, they've been called a class organization, a first-class organization. Unfortunately, Jamal Adams called us that, and then he got cut. But, I think he asked for his release or something, I don't know. But I think the incentives that Kirby missed because of that, we'll find a way. We'll find a way to give it to him. And they'll probably make a show out of it when they give him his new contract. They'll be like, he has an extra special signing bonus of $3.84 million or something, like, which is what he missed out on, obviously on top of whatever it is, 50 million, 60 million or whatever. So it'll probably be like 63.84 million for his signing bonus. So they'll probably do something petty like that because, they like to do that. I think Brad Holmes is the petty king. He walks around with a villain hoodie on.
I got to disagree with you, Don. I think I'm the petty king. I am the petty king. But then you got St. Brown and then the rest of. But I am petty number one, brother. So that belongs exclusively to me.
Okay, I'm talking about within GM circles.
Oh, I got you. Okay, all right.
You got to go be a GM, and then you can be the petty king. Okay. All right. Let's stick into things that are happening within the All Pro. Okay. Another noted Vikings fan who I stopped being a proprietor, or not a proprietor. I stopped being a patron of his website many, many, many years ago. And that man is Mike Florio. PFT is a website that Mike Florio and his moderators, before he got on TV, would delete your comments if they disagreed with him. Okay? You make a comment and it didn't agree with him, it wouldn't show up. So that is the kind of man that is on Sunday Night Football and Peacock and all that stuff. So it was no surprise when he came on after the BTA event of last Sunday night and said that Amon-Ra St. Brown's salary wasn't proportionate to his production. Well, wouldn't you know Amon-Ra is a first-team All-Pro for the second straight year? Okay. All right, Mike Florio. Okay. So we have Kirby Joseph, first-team All-Pro. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown, first-team All-Pro. We have Penei Sewell, first-team All-Pro. Jack Fox, first-team All-Pro. Now, that was a surprise to me. Okay? Because they said his highlights from San Francisco was him like warming up or like he didn't punt. Okay. There are games where he hasn't done too much work. Now his stats obviously met the threshold of the minimum amount of punts or whatever, and he was able to have the yards that he had. So it's not even arguable that he's an All-Pro, but I was surprised by that. And then I think our second team All-Pros were Khalif Raymond and who else? Frank Ragnow.
Yeah.
Do you think that there were any snubs, anybody that should have been first team All-Pro or at least second team that wasn't?
You know, I think Brian Branch could have been on the second team list for sure. But I've been noticing something that I think that might have a little bit to do with it. It's just spitballing here. I don't know if there were any second-year players that were awarded either honor. I didn't really dive into it like that, but I think they're making Brian do his time. I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been playing lights out. But you look at Budda Baker, and Budda Baker, like, okay, we know what he was. We know what he is. And I could see Brian Branch kind of morphing into like that Budda Baker type player as he progresses in the league. With that veteran leadership. But I'm like, maybe this is kind of one of them. Budda Baker might be kind of not, I know he's not on his way out because he's looking, either he just signed a deal or he's looking for one, but kind of like that seasoned vet. We got to show him some love over the new guy on the block. So I think Brian Branch, definitely, we talking about chips on shoulders. You got the second round, you got the snubs. So I think he going to start the ball out even more as well. So I'm not really tripping on the Brian Branch quote unquote snub because I think he's going to make it eventually. It might just be year 3, 4 or beyond. So I don't really look at it like that, but you could put Branch on that list if you wanted to.
What about Jared Goff? Do you think he deserved to be on the list?
I saw that and I was like, man, Lamar, everybody know how I feel about Lamar. And I think that for Jared Goff, it's a lot of lists that he may be either deserving or at least in the conversation. And it's tough to say if because I think it was only one quarterback, right, on the first team. And
I think so.
And so that one quarterback is Lamar. And I'm like, to me, bro, that's tough. If you're looking at body of work, you've got 2 MVPs, probably a third one on the way, and a lot of records set by Lamar, but you have that postseason consistency or record. And Lamar is, I believe he's 2-1 or somewhere around there in the postseason. So
I think he's 3-5.
3-5. He's 3-5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's so we're talking what? That's not even 50% there. So, then you got Jared Goff winning a Super Bowl, winning that NFC championship, or getting to the Super Bowl, winning that NFC championship. So I think that for me, I'm just like, you know what? Jared Goff, he got his eyes on a bigger prize. And that's probably what I'm thinking. But, it's tough. Lamar, when you bring Lamar up in conversation, it's tough for me. It really is. Gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it real.
We can segue to that one. All right. So the thing with Lamar is Lamar Jackson had, now let me make sure I got it right. I think Lamar Jackson had 31st place votes. And Josh Allen had 18.
Wow.
Here's the thing with Lamar, because we're talking about postseason success, but these are all regular season awards.
Yes.
I don't understand the case for Josh Allen. If you look at stats, they're all better than Josh Allen's stats. He passed for more yards. He rushed for more yards. He has more overall touchdowns. I think Lamar has 43 total touchdowns. The Bills are 13-4, and the Ravens are 12-5. That's the only thing that I can see. And oh, by the way, I would submit. All right, so I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt. Somebody highlighted, I say that a lot, so I'm gonna make sure I say it. I would submit that in the head-to-head, Lamar killed that entire narrative because it was Ravens 35, Bills 10.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I understand what you're saying, and I think this was a really good year for Lamar. It was really good, and he's got 4 INTs on the year, just like 4.
I forget about that.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the year that I probably would give him the most praise, even though that's extremely tough. Because for me, I look at it like this: we got a lot of regular season awards. It's a ton of stuff that goes. Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs, I believe it was. You've got all this stuff that you do in the season, and those awards are great, but it's what can you do in the postseason. We look at Matthew Stafford, all the in-season awards, all the he didn't really get too many, but the Lions breaking every record possible, and he was not cared about at all until he went to LA. I think the thing between Lamar and Josh is, I think, the fact that Josh is the physical specimen that he is. Lamar leaned up a little bit, and that might have made him a better quarterback. But I think the fact that Josh is just a dude, bro. Like he's kind of a monster. And I think that even though it's unfair to lean maybe based on the physical qualities of a quarterback, and that's one thing I don't like about, it's a lot of things I don't like, but about this Associated Press voting is it's almost like the same thing, like a favoritism type thing. Because you're right, Lamar this year is a better quarterback than Josh Allen, but I saw Josh Allen firsthand, and I'm like, you just could not get to the dude. I know that's like that with Lamar as well, but Josh, bro, Lamar is not necessarily going to run you over. Josh Allen will throw, he will run you over. Lamar's more of a jukester, you know what I'm saying? So I think that honestly, they got their mind made up who they want. I can't believe it's that big of discrepancy. So just if you got the numbers, who were like the rest of the first place votes? Was it any other first place votes? Saquon.
I think there's only 52. Yeah.
Okay, 52. So you did. So that means that it would be 4 remaining. Did anybody else? Anybody else get a first place vote from those?
Probably Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Based on his his cachet. Let's see.
So not even Saquon? They didn't give him a first place?
I think he got one.
Okay.
So it might have been Saquon Barkley received 48, but this is for quarterback.
Oh,
because Saquon Barkley received 48 of 50 first place votes for running backs. So there were 50 first, so there's 2 more. So like I said, it was probably Patrick Mahomes probably got 1, and maybe Joe Burrow got 1. You know, yeah. So that's what that is. But that's something else. And ultimately, we'll save that for later. We'll come back to that. We're talking about Lamar and Josh. But you mentioned a person in there, which I don't think belongs in there at all.
Okay.
And that was one John Matthew Stafford. This man, as you can probably tell, I am not a Matthew Stafford fan. I was never a Matthew Stafford fan. The only time I was a Matthew Stafford fan is when he came back in the game as a rookie and threw the game-winning touchdown against the Browns with a separated shoulder. I was like, oh, man, this dude is gritty. I've had his record before, and I don't have it memorized. But in Detroit, no one cared about him because he didn't win anything. Not just in the postseason did he not win. He didn't win in the regular season. If you were playing Matthew Stafford in the second week of the season, I'm sorry, not the second, in the third week of the season, and you had won your first game and lost your second game, or you had lost your first game and won your second game, from week 3 on, if you had a 500 record, you were very, very, very likely to beat Matthew Stafford. He was something crazy like 9-70 versus 500 teams and above. That's ludicrous. So this is why no one cared about Matthew Stafford until he got to LA. And the only reason he got that Super Bowl in LA is because a man named Jaquiski Tart can't catch. And do you know where Jaquiski Tart plays
currently?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say that he's either not in the league or in the UFL somewhere.
He is not in the league. I mean, he might be in the UFL. I don't watch it. Okay. He was a free agent that offseason. What was that, 2021?
2021.
Okay, we're in 2025 now. That man has not been in the league since. It was so egregious that he dropped that interception and gave Matthew Stafford a trip to the Super Bowl that he has not been signed by anyone else.
Wow. Did not know that.
Okay, so Matthew Stafford doesn't belong in this conversation. Okay, now I know they're going to give him a Hall of Fame because he's, Clayton Kershaw's best friend. As we were told every time he was in LA or, when Tony Romo was on TV talking about Matthew Stafford, we always get that. All right, but that's enough about Matthew Stafford. This is what I've had to say about Matthew Stafford, mostly Kelly Stafford, because, booing them kids, all those things that she has to say. I have a message for Matthew Stafford, for Kelly Stafford, and all those people who are with the Rams, who are with the Vikings. And I can't find my message.
That's how I go, man.
All right, hold on. I got it. Hold on 1 second. That's it. That's all I got for them. That's all I got for them. Derek, you can't hear my sounds?
Nope.
All right. The chat heard it.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. I'll listen to it on playback.
The chat heard it. So, all right, let's get into invite some more people in or welcome some more people in the chat. And we'll try to get to your comments a little bit later, guys. All right, so we got Tactical Spark. What up, though? K ain't press. Who should change her name to K is press because she is always press. Motor City Maniac is here. David Lyons is here. Mega Hustle 313 is here. Let's see. J-Rod, we already said you. Detroit Mindset is here. What up, though? Dennis Tytek is here. Lori King is here. We got so many people that are here. So I just want to say what up, though, to all of you in the chat. We are going to get to your comments and things of that nature. But I want to make sure we cover everything before Derek has to go. All right. So getting into the playoffs. Wild card round is coming up starting tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the AFC games. We have the Chargers and the Texans. And I think we have, hold on, I had it here. Who else do we have? Chargers, Texans, Ravens, Steelers. All right. Who you got? Chargers, Texans.
I'm taking the Chargers.
All right. Any particular reason why you're taking the Chargers?
Don't really trust the Texans. The way they kind of, after losing to us, seems like it wasn't the same. And CJ Stroud having a down year, getting sacked a lot. Just something seems off. I know they're at home. I think Jim Harbaugh gonna have the boys ready, and I think they take out the Texans, man. The Texans had a great year one, great story with CJ Stroud. Second year, not so much. And I think the loss of Nico Collins in the first couple of games after the season first started, I think that's kind of played a factor on their ending record. But something looked off with CJ Stroud and the Texans as a whole. So I'm going to take the Chargers to go in there to NRG Stadium and get a W, man.
All right. I'm also going to take the Chargers as well for many of the reasons that you laid out. And I want to correct, I forget who it was. Somebody said, I think yesterday, I think it was Jake Butt on the Amon-Ra or the St. Brown Brothers podcast. And this is something that I don't gamble. I don't bet.
Yeah, neither do I.
But if you guys are giving out information to people who are throwing their money on these games, make sure that you're giving the correct information. Jake Butt said that CJ Stroud was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL this season with 52.
False.
No.
Yep.
Caleb Williams.
Wow.
Okay.
He didn't know that? Wow.
Huh?
I said he didn't know that?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I saw another program. I think it was like Bussing with the Boys. Last week, they were giving out stuff and they were talking about Saquon Barkley potentially breaking the record. And yeah, you should put your money on this. It's like, bro, he's not playing.
Wow. I think when they stop playing, they just get out of the loop. Like they're not tuning in like they maybe once was. That's insane.
I guess, but that's fine if you're just regular Joe Bo player. But if you are on a podcast and you're giving out bets for people to put their money on and follow you, maybe give information that like this player is not actually playing. Don't bet your money on that. Don't include him in your parlay. Because the parlay can't hit if he doesn't play.
If he ain't playing, yep. That's why even if I did, gamble, which I don't, but if I did, I wouldn't give out advice because I'm not having somebody lose that money and then they come back to me asking me what you told me. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I told you, but you listen. So I wouldn't even want to deal with that, So I'm glad that's something I really don't, I don't mess with.
Yeah, that's not my lane. I don't give out none of that. So if you guys are into gambling, you'll never see it on my show.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason I think, and this is a kind of like an offhand take, CJ Stroud was too worried about running down other young quarterbacks to give them free game at the end of the games, and not worrying about his own game, and that's why he suffered. No, but I think he suffered because he had Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is a cancer. to every locker room he's ever been in. And I think they were paper champions. You know, they were paper champions on whatchamacallit, on paper in the offseason, right? That game is a game I did pick us to lose. I think I had them at like 14-3 or 13-4, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really struggled to find 3 or 4 losses. Okay. I wanted to put them at 15-2, but I was like, I don't want to be a homer and people going to think I'm a slappy. But we were right. Because when I looked at the schedule, I said, well, nobody frightens me. You know, they're like, oh, it's a first place schedule or whatever. Nobody frightens me. You know? So I think the Bills, I said we were going to lose to the Bills. The Texans, I don't even remember the other people because it was probably in the division. I was maybe the Packers.
Yep, that's what I had. I had us 15-2 or 14-3, and I was like Bills, Texans, Packers. I think that's what I said. Yeah. Because
the Packers beat us once last year, so I was like, all right, we'll take that. But I really had to find 3 L's, and you can see it was right that we were struggling. But the Buccaneers was one that nobody expected. Nobody expected us to lose.
That still makes me sick. If we could have went 2 for 7 in the red zone, we win that game. I mean, and look at the Buccaneers literally had to stumble their way into the playoffs. Like that still bothers me. And we lost 2 games, our 2 losses by a combined 10 points. Point differential for the entire year, best in the league at 220. The closest next team is 160. This offense, man, I'm telling you, but I don't want to get off on a different subject. But yeah, man, we should really, I mean, you could argue 17-0. The Bills game, had we not been so beat up, maybe we actually can stop Josh once or twice, maybe, you know. So Lions, man, playing out of their mind this year. Yeah.
As I like to do, I'm going to blame that Bills game on Ezekiel Turner. Just cover a running back once. And then when we go for the onside kick, you have the ball in your sights and you choose to take out a player.
He had a tough game. Get
on the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we would only had 12 seconds, but I mean, we would have had a chance.
Would have had a chance. All the Lions need is a chance. That's it.
Exactly. All right. So the next game, as we said, Steelers versus Baltimore. It is in Baltimore. Who you got?
You first. You got to go first.
All right. I'm definitely going with Baltimore. And the reason, one, yes, Lamar Jackson does have a reputation in the playoffs, but he doesn't have that reputation for the wild card round. Nobody is concerned about Lamar Jackson in the wild card round. Last year, they pummeled, who was it? Houston. The Texans?
Yeah.
They've made a habit of pummeling the Texans, 31-2. That was crazy. But I'm going to take Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I think Lamar and Derrick Henry are going to be too tough to stop. And it's the worst kept secret in the NFL. The Steelers are bad at offense. They don't play offense well. So, and they haven't played offense well since Roethlisberger left.
Very true. That is a fact.
So that's my pick.
All right. I am going to pick against the Baltimore Ravens just because I feel like the Steelers, they're on a 4-game skid. You said it exactly. There is no offense, even with what is it? Black and gold. Here we go. Russell Wilson, Pickens is just, I don't know what's going on with him, but I feel like it's something about them playing the Baltimore Ravens. I just seems like they kind of got their number a little bit. I think they split this year, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't.
Yes, they did.
I cannot. I see the Ravens winning this game, but I'm not going to pick them to win. I'm going to pick the Steelers, man, to pull off an upset, going there and beat Lamar Jackson, even though Derrick Henry makes a whole different dynamic. Like, I'm still factoring that in, that this guy, how much he changed the team. And with Derrick Henry having the season he had, Lamar still had probably the best season of his career. So I think for the first time in Lamar Jackson's career, the Baltimore Ravens are a significant threat. They really are. Can they beat the Chiefs? Can they beat, which is everybody's kryptonite but ours, can they beat the Buffalo Bills again? This time they would have to come to Buffalo. Last time it was at home. And I think that playoff Lamar, will he show up, or will he set new heights for himself? Pun intended. So let's see, man. But I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to pull off an upset on the road and send the Baltimore Ravens home.
All right. So let's take a brief segue. We got 110 viewers in here, and I appreciate the love. Obviously, it's not all for me. Most of it's for Derek.
I just put it on my community tab. That's all I did.
And make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. If you're in the chat and you want to talk, I've got the subscribers only mode on because it's race to 1,000.
Wait, who you racing with though? That's you racing with?
I'm racing myself because I had monetized a channel before.
Oh, okay.
But what had happened was I left.
I vaguely remember that. Wait a minute, Chef, you left. I think I left. What happened? I'm trying to remember. Chef, my bad, bro. That's the old you.
People leave.
I'm sorry.
People leave because everybody's not above board. And you get tired of dealing with people who aren't above board.
I got you. Makes sense.
So when you leave and you go back out on your own, and then you don't have to deal with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep. I know you're doing a good job, man. Over 400. You know what I'm saying? And doing your thing. Hopefully you get there before Super Bowl Sunday, and the sky's the limit, man.
Hey, if everybody's that's in the viewing right now subscribes today, we'll be at 500 before this thing is over.
That's just saying. Very true, man.
So we'll be halfway. All right. So let's get back to these playoffs. So let's shift to the NFC side. In the NFC, we've got the Tampa. Well, actually, no. We forgot something. We got the Bills and the Broncos. That's going to be Sunday. Who you got?
I got to take the Bills. I think the Broncos defense, they lead the league in sacks. They can get to Josh most likely. I do see them sacking him a couple of times, but man, I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo, but I know what the crowd's going to be like, and it is crazy. And I just don't know if rookie Bo Nix is ready to go into a place with that weather, with that fan base, and against the high-powered Bills offense without really any true number one receiver. I mean, Cook is cooking, and Josh is still on that MVP campaign. I would love to pick an upset here, but I'm taking the Bills to win at home and move to the divisional round.
I'm going to pick the upset.
Oh, okay.
And I've said this before. When I saw the matchup, weather doesn't matter. It snows in Buffalo. It snows in Denver. It's cold in both places. So it's not going to affect either team.
Okay.
Now, I'm not 100% confident in this pick because obviously conventional wisdom just says pick Josh Allen and that's it. I think this I think this Broncos defense is much better than the Bills defense. The Bills defense has been spotty and they've been kind of bipolar. Which Bills defense will show up? You would expect, because it's the playoffs, that the playoff caliber Bills defense is going to show up. But if they don't, Bo Nix has played pretty well. Bo Nix can shred that secondary. He's got Cortland Sutton. He's got Marvin Mims back there, who's a Pro Bowler. I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. But I'm going to stay with my pick of the upset because I just believe that if you can, and it hasn't happened too much this season. I think the Ravens did it. And that's pretty much the only team that were successful in just turning Josh Allen back into the gunslinger that doesn't take care of the football.
Yeah.
But if they can actually do that, then I think that they win.
I would love to see that because then that would set up a Chiefs-Broncos rematch at Arrowhead. And I would love to see that. I mean, you never know that like the Cinderella Denver Broncos last seed came down to the last game of the year against a team that they had to beat, albeit all backups, get that dub, punch their ticket, and then see them in the divisional. That would be something, man. I could see kind of them going like an upset streak because Kansas City won. They barely won that first game. You know what I mean? So I could see kind of, I don't know, man, because I'm starting to see maybe all these who could the Lions match up with? And like there's an outside the bubble. I see two teams, maybe the Steelers, if they can get any type of offense going, and then the Denver Broncos is the other team. So I would love to see that happen because just like I think the Bills, man, they just one of them teams that are tremendously hype because of their quarterback. And I'm like, I would love to see upsets on Wild Card weekend.
Right. Well, as far as the Bills, I picked them to do nothing this year, but there was one saving grace for them that I thought getting Stephon Diggs out of the building was going to make them a better team.
Yep.
But I thought that they had too many losses on their defense. It was like a huge exodus on defense, and that's why I thought that they weren't really going to do anything. But Josh Allen's put him on their shoulders. But let me ask you this one thing, because you mentioned the Chiefs versus the Broncos. There was backlash. There was pushback. People thought that the Chiefs laid down so that they could avoid the Bengals. What was your opinion of that?
I don't think that's the case, but I could also see it as well. I mean, no points. Now, I didn't get to see the game because I was doing something else, but I know Carson Wentz had some incentives that were based around doing some things and to get no points. And we know that Joe Burrow, they had won 5 in a row going into the postseason. They were hot. We know that Joe Burrow kind of gives Patrick Mahomes the business. We saw that game earlier in the year that they scraped by. I don't think that's exactly what happened, but they weren't upset. Let's put it like that. That, you know what, we don't have to. And I think it would have been in the divisional round anyway. So the Bengals would have had to come in. They would have had to beat the Bills and then, on the road and then face the Kansas City Chiefs. So I can see that because you got the Triple Crown winner, Joe Burrow, kind of a dark horse MVP. I could see it, but I don't think that's solely true.
Right. Well, I would submit that if you want to get into the playoffs, Joe Burrow, win more games.
Don't start on.
That's what I would submit.
On 3. Yeah.
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 We were trying to, and you see Joe Burrow, and now I have a special hatred for the Cincinnati Bengals. Because all you had to do was be 1-6, and you could have traded Trey Hendrickson to us. Okay? But you messed around for the entire year thinking you had a chance. Okay? And now Trey Hendrickson is still on your team. And I would also submit that as the Kansas City Chiefs, it is not my job to help you in any way, shape, form, or fashion to get into the playoffs. So you want to run around talking about Burrowhead? Not today. You won't have the chance this season.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do we have a Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson segment as part of this?
Oh, we could put one in there.
Okay. All right. Because
for sure.
You're talking about something that got me. I talked about it earlier today. I want to know what you think about it.
Okay. Is there another? No, there's no more AFC.
Nope.
No. Okay. So let's just jump into what you are wanted to talk about, so we don't forget about it.
Okay. All right.
Before we go to the NFC,
so Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. We know that they're talking about. They're both kind of hot, and I think for the first time, really, Aaron Glenn is a legit coaching candidate. Like, teams are legitimately looking at them. He's not just like the token black guy that has to be interviewed. I think he has a legit chance. And we know that Ben Johnson interviewed with the Patriots job and Aaron Glenn declined it. Now, there are some teams that's available this year, but I'm looking forward to next year. And Ben Johnson, we know how spooky he is, how spooked he can get. I call him like a deer. He steps on the twig. He's running the other way. The team has got to be set up for long-term success, even though you're going to have a rough year or two, right? So I got to thinking, what team that we were just talking about could potentially open up next year if that team does not, A, make the playoffs, or B, make it to at least the AFC title game? The Cincinnati Bengals. If I am Ben Johnson, there is not one appealing job this year. I'm looking ahead to potentially the Cincinnati Bengals, maybe the Miami Dolphins, because I think McDaniel, if they don't make a play and win a playoff game, I think he's done. He just got extended, but that don't mean nothing at all. We got the Raiders paying 4 coaches. They will be paying 4 coaches: John Gruden, Josh McDaniels, Antonio Pierce, and whoever they hire. So what do you think about Ben Johnson falling back a year? And I'm glad that the Bengals didn't make the playoffs, because all you heard was, we're okay. We're starting 0-2. We're okay. We got a lot of football left. Well, guess what? It didn't work for you this year. So now you got to stop with that arrogance of, we can still win. Yeah, you won 5 in a row, but you outside now. So I'm glad. So what do you think about maybe Ben Johnson sticking around, maybe waiting on a Cincinnati Bengals opening next season?
All right. Well, I'll talk about both of the openings that you said. You said the Bengals and the Dolphins. If what Ben Johnson has said, or if that's actually what he said, because they'll put out reports and things like that, he wants a manifesto from the organization confessing their sins, and then tell them how he's going to fix how they're going to fix it. The Cincinnati Bengals are the cheapest franchise in the history of the NFL. You're going to lose T. Higgins. You will have Joe Burrow. If I'm not mistaken, Jamar Chase still hasn't gotten his contract, right?
You're correct, but he will get paid. He will get paid.
Okay, so he was walking into practice 30 minutes late in some J's and some jean shorts and a do-rag. Okay. And I said that was a bad look. Now, he did get the Triple Crown, but they did not get to the playoffs. If they don't get there next year, that is going to be an attractive opening, because you're going to have Joe Burrow. You're going to have Jamar Chase. But who else are you going to have? They just fired their defensive coordinator, so we don't know what their defense is going to look like next season. Was it the coordinator that was bad, or do they not have enough talent on defense?
Okay.
So that's what I would say about them. It's attractive because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, but what else is there?
Very true.
Ownership is terrible, cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. My thing, the way I was looking at it is the defense sucked and ours is not fantastic. So Ben knows how to work with a kind of a subpar overall defense. Then the second thing would be, okay, you'll have your draft to trying to whatever pieces you can bring together through free agency and the draft, maybe you can make the defense serviceable. But as far as the offensive side of the ball, when you have Jamar Chase, like you said, going to lose T. Higgins, and you've got Joe Burrow, a few more pieces. And I mean, because the defense is probably why they started on 3, like real talk. So if you can clean a little bit of that up, maybe you only need a couple more pieces on offense. But I was thinking like maybe because I just don't see, and I mentioned the Miami Dolphins as well. I don't know about them, but you are right about the cheap organization. They didn't want to pay Trey. They didn't want to pay Jamar. And now they have to pay Jamar, or I think he sits out. That's just my opinion. You put $50 million insurance on yourself. Like, you're not about to play in a contract year when you done won the Triple Crown. So they either going to throw the bag or he's not going to play in 2025. So, and that could lead to Zach Taylor getting fired. So I don't know. I just, when I look at the coaching vacancies this year, I really don't see one. People are saying the Jacksonville Jaguars, I would not step foot in Jacksonville. No way, no how. You got a general manager that allegedly said you have an owner that kept the general manager, that hired the coach, and then there are reports coming out that if the coach wants the general manager fired, he'll do that. This is the same organization that took Trayvon Walker over Aidan Hutchinson. I would not go anywhere near. To me, Don, there's no team, if I'm Ben Johnson, that I am running to, that I see it being super attractive, because Ben Johnson wants a second deal. See, it's easy to get a first one. These teams fire their coaches because they're terrible. So you're probably going to have a terrible first year. What about year 2, year 3? He wants a second contract, right? So I'm like, I don't know if he sees any of those teams super attractive because he's thinking about the future.
Yeah, I mean, I just go with Ben Johnson. I just go off of the reports of what he said, right? Of him not wanting to go to a dysfunctional situation. You can't attract a person, and I've said this a lot on my show about the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can't attract a coach that doesn't want dysfunction by being dysfunctional. You can't do that. Now, as far as the Dolphins, very quickly, I don't like Tua. And I just don't think he's that great. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I don't like him as a person. I feel like Tua is middling. Right? You're going to get what you're going to get with him, and you're never going to get much more. And also, he's one hit to the head from retirement, and he doesn't protect himself. It's like he'll say, well, I know I have to be available. I know I have to be out there for my guys. And then the next thing you know, he's diving headfirst into a linebacker.
Yeah.
So the Tyreek Hill drama, I don't know. They can't win in the cold. So I think the Miami Dolphins are going to be rebuilding pretty soon.
Okay, so do you see either coordinator truly leaving this year?
Aaron Glenn, I'm really going to go out on a limb and say I think it depends on the Super Bowl success of the Detroit Lions. If they don't win it, and in what manner do they not win it, I could see Aaron Glenn coming back. I also, notwithstanding the success, like, if they win it, then I could really justify him leaving. But then I also could say he's finally got the pieces that he wanted on his defense. It's great camaraderie. He loves the players. The players love him. I don't know. I like the city of Detroit loves him. It just would be hard to leave. But Aaron Glenn is 52. That Saints job is open. That Jets job is open. These are organizations that he has ties to. So I guess in that, if what he really wants is to be a head coach, then it would be hard for him to stay with the opportunities that he has.
Okay, let me quickly throw something back at you, because I think that the head coaches, especially for our team, they got to think about the future beyond even that first contract. Let me tell you what I mean. How many coaches get rehired as a head coach after their first tenure? Dan Campbell has already been extended. Why? Because he's doing a phenomenal job, so he's already been extended. If Aaron Glenn goes to any of those teams and it doesn't work out, guess where he's going to be? Back as a DC. And then he's going to try to. So we've seen Quinn. Quinn has got a job again. It's very rare that you come back, you get an opportunity, for some reason that opportunity doesn't work, and then you demote it to some type of coordinator. Look at Robert Saleh. He's the same. He's like DC to coach to coordinator to whatever he was, associate. Now he's applying for DC again, and I'm sure he's going to try to work his way up to coach. But if you get fired, it is very tough to get a part two unless you're the Raiders and they hire Josh McDaniels, right? So I'm saying if you're Ben and you're Aaron, you got to be like, yo, if this doesn't work out, will I get a second opportunity? Will I get another chance at a head coaching job if this one doesn't work out? Because that's what it's all about, bro. We know that wherever they go, they're going to have a really bad year one. I mean, Washington is the exception, not the rule. So I'm thinking that they're going to have a miserable first year. They probably going to be the 3-4 year deal. But these owners, they don't care about that money. They like, yo, we don't care. We giving away money. If you don't work out, we'll find somebody that does. So I think that it's how many coaches get a second opportunity to be a head coach. And so I think that's what they're thinking about.
I want to say you're right. And I believe you're right. And I guess this is just me like thinking that billionaires should be smarter. You have to just look at the situation. Like if you go to the Jets and you get fired, everybody gets fired on the Jets. You know, like if you go to the Jaguars, you know what I mean? Like you're going to get fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not because you were a bad coach. Like maybe you were, but just look at the dysfunction that came out about the Jets and Woody Johnson using Madden. And I mean, come on, you know, Robert Saleh is probably like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, so you can hire me as a head coach again because look at this dude, you know? So I don't know. I guess it's just what it depends on, the circumstances. Now, if you go to a good situation and you make them worse, then yeah, you shouldn't get another job.
But name one of the openings that's a good situation that you would think. What Bears are there?
Generally, they're not.
Okay.
Right. So like, I'll give you a great example of a coach that went to a good situation and sucked royally.
Okay.
And you already know what I'm going to say. Fatty Matty Patty. Okay. He went to a team that was like perennially 9-7. Okay. Which, and that's a good situation for a coach to come in because they're bringing you to make 10-6 or 11-5.
Yeah.
Right. We don't believe that Jim Caldwell can get these 2 games or this 1 game that we need to have double-digit games every year. And then you go 3-13 and 4-12 and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he should never get a job again.
When you trade, he will never get a job. But it happens when you trade away Darius Slay, you trade away Golden Tate, you trade away Quandre Diggs. Like that's what happens, right? So destroyed the team. But yeah, man, if they're gonna go to a bad situation. So I don't want to hold up the segments, but I'm looking at this, man. The Bears got a bunch of cap space, but do you really want to go there? So if I could see Aaron Glenn like taking it on, like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the Jets or the Saints and I'm gonna turn this thing around. But That's going to be a tough task. The Jets could not get over the hump, and Aaron Glenn is a defensive guy. That is their strong suit, but they need some offense, right? And they're going to need another quarterback and all this other stuff. So I don't know, man. I see the Lions. We win the Super Bowl. They're like, yo, I'm going to get my chance again. And I'm going to wait. And that's why I brought up the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins, because I could see a couple teams, the New York Giants, I think they open up next year. I think Kevin Stefanski, I think they open up next year. I think it's a couple other teams. The Cowboys are looking somebody when I ain't going there, right? So it's a couple teams that are going to maybe the Steelers. The Steelers kind of be dumb, but they've been kind of stagnant for the last, they've been like just there. The Steelers have been there, and I don't know if they move on from Mike Tomlin.
They won't.
Yeah, I don't know if the fan base get loud enough. So that's why I'm like, yo, if
Mike Tomlin just needs a quarterback.
Yeah, but he drafted the last one. You know what I'm saying?
Is he drafting them? Is he the GM?
No, but he got some say so. He got some say so in it. He better have some say so.
But I mean, like this is the thing. I think the Steelers are gonna have to get a quarterback unconventionally.
Sam Darnold, he go over there. What you think?
It would be dumb for the Vikings to let him go.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, if you let Sam Darnold go to Pittsburgh is going to need to be like, hey, yo, Kevin, let us get that system.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because
Sam Darnold hasn't thrived in any other place than Minnesota. And that's so to address the AG thing, right? AG, I think, is going to have some leeway if he goes to New Orleans or New York. And the reason I believe that is because Derek Carr is gone, right? He's already said, I'm not taking a pay cut. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So if they've asked him to take a pay cut, and he's like, I'm not taking one. So I think Derek Carr is going. So you're going to a situation where you have no quarterback. So whatever they have to do to get one, he's going to have a little bit of leeway. Now, if you're trying to like resurrect the talent or whatever of Spencer Rattler, and that's what they're telling you to do, and you can't succeed with him, you're going to get fired.
Yep.
And Spencer Rattler, I've disliked him since I saw him on Netflix QB1 when he was in high school.
Yeah.
He just thought he was a lot more than what he is.
Yeah.
The Jets, Aaron Rodgers, come on, dude. That dude's he's not going back.
No. And there's no way Aaron Glenn deals with him. That's facts.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
So they don't have a quarterback either.
Very true.
So he's going to go to a place with those two places where he's got a fresh, clean slate. And now they have to figure out how to get a quarterback. And it'll be a lot like Todd Bowles.
And see, that's
right?
where Sam Darnold comes in. That's where if he goes to a team like that, another Baker type project where he, redeems himself after one good year and they sign him to a multi-year deal. Even though Sam Darnold was atrocious on Sunday night, week 18, but I think you can see the potential, right? So I don't know. When it comes to our guys, I just think they got to be smart. They got to be smart because how many second opportunities are they going to get if this one doesn't work out? And owners are not patient at all. Like Sheila kind of set the standard. There was a lot of people complaining year 2 when we was 1-6, like, hey, we don't know, right? So but Sheila came up, said, listen, we believe in this coaching staff. You don't get that a lot, right? Brian Dable went from like coach of the year or whatever to he gonna get fired next year. If they don't win games, he's getting fired. That's just him. It's a couple. I think I don't know. I think we might see a little Sean McDermott, like if the Bills keep just, they reach the pinnacle and it ain't the Super Bowl. I think we could see them move on from him, and that would be an intriguing place too. So I don't know, Don. I think if I'm both of them guys, then I stay, because I think Ben Johnson is a hotter candidate than Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn is either going to the Jets or Saints, and everything you mentioned about both those teams still applies. But I think they know what they got, and once they go, it's gone, and you don't get a chance to kind of get a redo. So I think they could really both stay, man.
Yeah. I think they can. I think Ben Johnson, with the options that he has, would probably stay. I mean, the Bears it's so sad. Like, you should go watch, I don't want to give out no free not really sponsorship, but what I'm saying, like, you should just go watch some of the main podcasts of the Bears. They are so well. Listen, I heard that Ben Johnson would be willing to sit down and have a conversation with Ryan Poles, and that's how you should do, like, man to man. Like, give me a freaking break, bro. Like, I've never, as a Lions fan, I have never salivated so hard over an in-division coach. Like, oh my God, I just want him so bad on my team. I don't know what they're doing, but it's terrible. All right. Okay, let's move to the NFC side. Here's the one that is the most contentious, I believe. It's the one that I've seen, which is kind of like the most evenly matched. Bucks, Commanders. Sunday Night Football, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Well, I go first because you went first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am going to take the Commanders. I think the Commanders win this game. I've got a 7 or 6 seed upset, and I'm going to pick. I would kind of lean toward the Packers, but they're down Christian Watson. You've got a bum A.J. Brown, but he's still going to play. We don't know what the Jalen Hurts situation he's playing, but how will he play? But they're going to be at home, so I think they're going to have that advantage. So I'm going to take the Washington Commanders to upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and come face the Detroit Lions in the divisional round.
So I feel the same way. Jaden Daniels has been a phenomenal rookie quarterback. Just like you said about Bo Nix, I don't know what their performance is going to be in the playoffs. Will the moment be too big for him? Whatever the case may be. I'm going to take the Bucks, and I'm going to put it down to the defenses. The Bucks just have a better defense than the Commanders. I've also, Todd Bowles is probably where Brian Flores drew inspiration from when he was creating his defensive scheme.
Okay.
Todd Bowles is going to send a lot of exotic pressure, a lot of exotic blitzes, exotic cover looks that will confuse Jaden Daniels. And I believe that the Bucks do pull it out. They're at home. They have a better defense. They can actually stop somebody.
It sounds like you talking yourself into it. That's what it sounds like. I'm just saying, brother. It's like, you said you got these long dramatic pauses. You're trying to talk yourself into it.
I am. I mean, I would rather play the Commanders. I believe it would be an easier game. And I've made comparisons. I love Lamar Jackson as a player to watch, and I've made loose comparisons between Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is a much more polished passer as a rookie than Lamar Jackson was. He's not as dangerous with his legs, but he's dangerous. But I don't know. I feel like we would be able to contain Jaden Daniels. You know what I mean? So I think it would just be an easier path. The Bucks, a little bit too familiar. You know, at this point, they're like a divisional opponent.
They used to be. I'm sick of the Bucks, the Vikings, the Packers.
The Rams.
The Rams. I want to play somebody new. Plus, I think, and that's going to lead into the next team. But I think the Rams are going to upset the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to be playing for the city. They're going to be. But I think the NFL want to see some Stafford, Goff one more time. That's just in the NFC Championship. So you already see it. I've already spoiled the whole thing. I think that the LA Rams are going to wind up in the NFC title game at Ford Field. I just see it happen.
All right, so we'll flip the last game as what the first game we should have talked about. But so the Rams. So just the factor that you went with, right? No, I'm not. So I'm just going through my thought process.
Okay.
The factor that you went through with them playing for the city, but they're also playing the game in Arizona.
Yep.
But then does that matter? Because if the game had been played in LA, they wouldn't have had a home field advantage anyway.
There you go. I was just about to say the Rams have no fans. It doesn't matter. They are used to that, bro. Most of their fans are spread across the United States. They have no fans. Like,
yeah, so
this will be a disadvantage to most teams, but not to them.
Yeah.
And
so it's a neutral site game.
Yeah, but they play here. They play once a year. They play the Arizona Cardinals. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I see an upset brewing.
I mean, I don't really think it's an upset. I mean, when it was in the regular season and they lost to the Lions and then went to LA and lost to the Rams, I mean, that was a Honolulu Blue flu, and maybe you could have called that one an upset. But I don't know, man. I think
the only reason I said upset because the spread got the Vikings. That was it. That's the only reason I said that. I think the Vikings are favorite.
I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Okay. All right. So you taking Baltimore Ravens over the Steelers. We haven't picked. Have we picked the same team yet? I don't know.
So I picked Ravens. You picked Steelers. I picked Broncos. You picked Bills.
We both picked the Chargers.
We both picked the Chargers.
Yep. So
I don't trust Houston.
That's the only game so far that we picked.
I think we're probably both gonna pick the same one on this last game, which is the Eagles and the Packers. But I don't know.
Yeah, we are. I would love not to, but because there's no Christian Watson, I got to take, and they're at home, I'm going to take the Eagles.
The only caveat that I could give for that is, as you said, Jalen Hurts has been out for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He just cleared concussion protocol like today. So I don't even know if he's really getting any practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So he's going to be super rusty. He's not going to have any game time experience. But until Jordan Love proves something, then I think Jordan Love is the same as Lamar Jackson to you.
The only difference is Lamar Jackson is on a pedestal. That dude is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Jordan Love.
So's Jordan Love.
No, they're not. Not even close. It's not even close.
Bro, that's my biggest problem with Jordan Love is the glazing after a half a season.
Now, that is true. That's true. Yeah.
Like he was awful the first half of the season.
Yep. Yeah.
And then he plays a good second half of the season, and then he's just up here.
Yeah,
Why?
I agree. Because the Packers are dumb. I guess that's the only reason. I mean, I wouldn't have paid like that. Yeah, I'm with you though. I get you.
But I'm gonna pick the Eagles. They have a better defense. They have a better overall team. If it comes down to Jordan Love having to make good decisions down the stretch to play to win the game, I don't think they win. So I'll take the Eagles on that one.
So that means that you're going to have the Vikings are going to play the Lions because you didn't take the Commanders.
I got the Vikings, yeah.
Okay.
And you have the Commanders.
Yep. Because I think that the league wants to set up Stafford, Detroit in the NFC title game.
And that's like I don't want that, because in the off chance that he does come into Detroit and win a playoff game, which is something he couldn't do in 12 years in Detroit. Okay. I want to keep that what it is. You never won a playoff game in Detroit ever.
And he won't.
Right. But, and I'm just looking at like, okay, so who could you stomach winning the game? You can't stomach anybody beating the Lions in the playoffs this year.
True. Yeah.
Do you hate Vikings fans more, or do you hate Matthew Stafford more?
Stafford all day.
I hate Matthew Stafford more.
Yeah, Stafford all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you
because I don't want
to. It's going to happen because the Lions own the highest rated views of the season. Every game they've played has broken every single record. So can you imagine Matthew Stafford, the old quarterback, the one that held all the records in Detroit, the one that held Bill Ford Field and all of that, standing in the way between his old team, the Rams' old quarterback, one last ride? Because I think this is how the league now. It might not go like that because the Rams have to win this game. Then them being the third seed, they would probably, I don't know if like with Green Bay not beating the Eagles, then that means that they got to go to Lincoln Financial and play there. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be extremely hard for any team. So that's the hurdle that I see. But I could also see Puka Nacua going off. Cooper Kupp, who probably won't be a Ram next year, also putting in some work. And all of a sudden, they get an upset. The 4 seed upsets the 2 seed. And then January 26th, 8-something p.m. or whatever the situation, another Sunday night, because they're both on Sunday that day. We get the night game. It's a repeat of last year. Matthew Stafford stands in the way of Detroit Lions in their first ever Super Bowl. You literally cannot write it any better. It's going to be a difficult path because of where they are now. If they were the 3rd seed, it might be a little different, but with them falling back to the 4th, it's going to be tougher. So that's how I see it going, man. But we'll see. We'll see Monday night if they can get the win.
Yeah. So if they're the 4th seed, the only way we wouldn't play them in the second round is if one of the Packers or Commanders wins.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So they would have to.
So that's why I'm saying like the Vikings need to win to prevent that, because I'm not confident that the Commanders will beat the Buccaneers. And I'm definitely not confident that the Packers will beat Philadelphia. I would love for the Packers to beat Philadelphia, because then we wouldn't have to deal with Saquon. The beginning of the year, our defensive line, I didn't give a damn about Saquon. Didn't care. But now we're beaten up and, we got a lot of injuries. I don't know. I don't really want to see Saquon.
Yeah, I mean, our run defense still top 10. You know what I mean? So
Brett, I don't know about that.
It ain't a lot of bass in your voice right there, man. Come on, come on, man.
Well, hold on. Let me.
Oh Lord.
I don't know about on that one. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to beat them, but it's possible.
Wait a minute. Is that Freeman? Is that Morgan? Oh boy.
Yes, sir. The Detroit Lions will win the Super Bowl this year.
All right, so that's what we got, and obviously we'll wait to the divisional round to pick the rest of the path. The one thing that I wanted to say before we get into the chat, I know it's going to be kind of abbreviated, but would you rather face Lamar, Josh, or Patrick in the Super Bowl?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. For all the reasons, I'm like, he's the better quarterback, but it's just a matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Here's
it would be easier for us to stop him.
We have not, the last 3 times that we played them, those 3 quarterbacks, we have not sacked them. We did not sack Josh Allen in December. We did not sack Lamar Jackson in October of 2023, and we did not sack Patrick Mahomes in, at least I think, in opening game last year. I think, I could be wrong, but we cannot get to those guys. And but I think that the year that Mahomes is having, and I think just the scramble ability, Josh is just, he is a nightmare. I mean, they all are. They really all are. But Lamar got like the jump skip, stuff like that. But Josh, man, I mean, and then you got the added flopping between, you know, Josh and Mahomes. They both flop-tastic. So,
yeah. I mean, I would, if we saw Josh again, I would be more confident this time because we have tape to study from our own experiences.
Very true. Yeah.
You know, and I would be confident in AG having a better game plan. And then I don't really think that we lost because it was Josh. I think we lost because we didn't come out with any energy in that game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
when we lost, when the offense got out there, I'm sitting in Ford Field and I'm like, this is not. I mean, we just had the worst 3 and out of all time. Like, what are we doing? And then score.
Yeah.
We did it. So I'm with you. I agree with you. I think it'll be a much better showing from the defensive side as well. Yep.
All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and get into the chat for the rest of the time that you're here. It's only like 7 more minutes.
I got to take my kids. It's his mom's weekend, man. So I got to zip them over there.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go through some things and try to find something in the chat and whatever you want to find in the chat as well. Let's see. All right. So David Lyons says Vikings have lost 5 straight versus us. I'm not worried about them either. I think they lost 6 out of the last 7. So
yeah, I'm with him.
That's a good one. All right, here we go. So Fresh and Fly says, I have this same debate with my homies, and MVP is based on stats to some and the eye test for others. For me, my eye test is telling me Lamar. You know what I mean? Like, I think the most dangerous quarterback, and we're not just talking about specifically postseason, because I know we're going to just take this into the regular season. The most dangerous quarterback in the NFL is Lamar Jackson. Would you agree or disagree?
Based off stats, I gotta unfortunately agree that he's he can do it all. So I gotta agree, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've never seen a quarterback throw for 4,000 and rush for 900. I thought he was going to throw for 4,000 and rush for 1,000, but he was just short of that. Here's a good one. Lori King says, I cannot stand Stafford and his wife. She's so annoying. Facts. All right, let's see what Kay has to say. She says, I'm going to hold that to you because usually when we beat teams so bad, they come back harder the second time. Who did that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We had 3 second times. They were called the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears, and the Minnesota Vikings. And then at the beginning, like let's say we had 5 second times because we had the Los Angeles Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now the Buccaneers, we shot ourselves in the foot. We doubled them in yards. We had a crazy pass interference that didn't get called and wound up as an interception. So, that was what that was.
Yeah, you also can't throw the ball 55 times either, or whatever it was. It was insane.
Yeah. Stafford and his wife didn't have any concern for that Rams fan falling off stage at the Super Bowl celebration.
I actually made a video about that that brother got out of time. Yeah. Wow. He took it back. Yes, I remember that.
Hey, listen, I if there's any Detroit Rams fans in the chat, I tried to tell y'all about Stafford. I tried to. He ain't the guy that you think he is.
Yep.
All right, Tactical Sport. If you didn't hit the like button, please do so. My guy, Tactical, man. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Let's see. Who else do we have here? All right, you got to get J Rod in here. He says, "Oh snap, LK and Cat versus Kelly, Karen, Stafford main event."
Well, I heard she said she wasn't coming or something like that. Like she on that again, that she may not come, but she probably will. So all this other nonsense.
Again, bro, it's just like she just can't stop.
Yeah,
she can't help herself. Yeah, are you going? Yeah, I'm going to support my husband. Done, finished.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Will she, won't she? As the Stafford turns. Get out of here, bro.
I like that. I like that.
All right. TaylorMade says, don't sleep on Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, though. Again, I'm not. He must have been talking to you.
No, he's not talking to me. He was just talking, period, because we're not sleeping on them. I think that we are. Yeah, I think the Lions not going to sleep on any team, but TaylorMade, he know that. He watched both of us. He know we ain't sleeping on the Lions. Going to be ready. The fans might be, some of them, but I'm not, because it's any given Sunday. But I do believe that the Detroit Lions are a better team, and if we had our guys on defense, I think we would be like pretty unbeatable. That's just what I think.
Well, I think we've shown this year that, and people have said it, that the only team that can beat the Lions is the Lions.
Yeah, and I agree.
JSJ says, "Oh, the two best in the game on the same podcast." Appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate that, man. That's what's up. It always kills me when people say that, because I'll be like, y'all lied. You're just telling me what I want to hear, but no, I appreciate that, man.
All right, Syndicate doesn't ignore it either. He's working with Don P at the moment. Appreciate you, J Rod, man. He's probably talking to Kay, because she always talking about I'm ignoring. Brett DeWitt says Coach Tomlin will make it closer than people think, but the Ravens have too much talent. Like I said, man, the Steelers just need a quarterback. So I'm gonna let you get out of here. I know you got to go run and take your son. Any last words? Oh, I know you wanted us to have the reveal.
Yeah. I figured I was here. I made it live today. Might as well let the people know.
Yeah. So I'll show it on my phone because it's the quickest.
Okay.
All right. So this is the new Lions Syndicate logo.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, man. We got a guy that designed it, and I'm excited about it. So it's live on the channel now, and we'll be pushing out merch. And this is the year of the business, man. So yeah, I appreciate that, bro. The year I'm taking the Syndicate brand to a whole new level. Me and the fellas, it's not just me, it's my fellas as well. And yeah, this is the year that we buckle down the business, and we're gonna, get LLC'd and all that stuff this year. So yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you showing that as well.
No problem. Well, I appreciate you showing love to others and not just yourself.
Well, you can't do it all. Listen, I'll say this and I'll slide out. One thing that I noticed about, because contrary to what you might hear and by false narratives and things like that, Lion Syndicate is the #1 independent YouTube channel on the internet. It is not funded by any digital conglomerate. Other people have #1 in a lot of their things that they do, and they don't have the numbers to back it up. And what I realized, and I knew this before, but your relationships are valuable. You cannot put a price on certain things. You cannot, because building relationships, burning bridges, that stuff is bad. It is. So it's more important what you build than necessarily your YouTube channel. And what I mean by that is off the air. Those are the relationships that you form. I've got a guy that has offered me a Super Bowl ticket if the Lions make it. I don't know how much I believe him, but he put it out there. I've gotten tickets to the games, and this logo, somebody reached out to me as a graphic designer and said that they wanted to help. And those are the relationships that you want to, continue to build, which is why it's important that you have relationships and you don't mess them over. And it was important to me that I apologize to Chef Lyons at the time because it was not directed toward him. Everybody knows what's up with that. And I wanted to make sure that I set the record straight very early on. And that's what led to this collaboration today. So make sure y'all subscribe to Motor City Don P, man, and help the brother reach the goals. And I'm sure what you sitting at now, man, over 400, right? Yeah. So you're doing your thing, man. You've been up for a minute, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'll say this and I'll slide. It's you might hear stuff, like you might hear a thing, but then, and you wonder about it, but then it always finds a way of working itself out. And I'll just say this. It's not a coincidence that Chef and I are on the same podcast after being on the same podcast. And I'll just leave it at that. So Chef,
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, formerly known as Chef. I'm so used to calling you that. Keep up the good work, man. Keep putting down what you're putting down. And keep doing your thing, man. The Lions are going places. We're going to go places too. And keep doing your thing, man. Appreciate you having me on, and I'll catch you later.
No problem.
All right, man.
All right. See you. All right, guys. That was Derek from Lion Syndicate. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I just want to get, for the new people that are here, okay, I have a Discord community that we're trying to build up. It's not monetary or anything. It's just a place for Lions fans to hang out. We're going to be doing some show topics, all these different things, right? So make sure you go ahead and hit that pin message. That's the link. Join the Discord. If there's mailbox questions that you want to send in and have me answer online, live on the show, I'll do that. If there are anything that you want to share, pictures, videos, memes, whatever, it's all, it's just a community for people, Lions fans, like-minded fans to hang out offline. Doesn't always have to be in the chats. You know what I mean? So make sure you go ahead and join that up, and we'll see you guys there. So let me get to some of your comments. I know I've missed a lot of the chat. Let's see here. I just had this feeling someone's getting an upset for wild card week. LOL. I feel like there will be. Like I said, I'm looking at the Broncos. I mean, it may not be popular, but I just feel like the matchup, it can happen. This is one that we need to have in here. David Lyon says, y'all so petty. Sometimes you have to be, man. Sometimes you have to be. The Discord link says invalid. Hold on, let me click on it. Invite invalid. All right, let me pull up another one. I'll just refresh it. Maybe it was old. Do. All right. So this is a new link that I will put in the chat now. I don't know. Maybe the links have to be refreshed like every few days or whatever. All right. So that should work. Yeah. Yep. That one works. So I will pin this one and the other one will go away. All right. Appreciate the heads up, Lori King. All right, let's see what other comments did we have up here. Take these out. I don't need to listen to myself. Yes. All right. Am I muted now? I think I'm good now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. Because now I'm seeing my levels now. Okay. All right. Well, I guess the earbuds were important. I didn't think they were. I didn't think I needed to hear myself, but it is what it is. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, letting me know. Denzel Van says, y'all talking about the people who don't like our wide receiver JMO. My bad. That's petty of me. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Hey man, I'm not gonna stop you from being petty. All right, let me get all the way down here. Celine 313 says, do you actually prefer Don P, and do you not like Chef anymore? I know you're gonna say you don't care, but do you have a preference? Like I don't care. Like I just distance myself from the Chef thing because I didn't want anybody claiming anything, right? But if you're old here, you can call me Chef. If you're new here, you can call me Don P. It's all good. It's all good. When you call me Chef, like it's an appreciation for how long you've been with me. You know what I mean? So I don't mind. All right, J Rod, we will see you later. Paul Thomas said you probably had the video back 15 minutes or so. Let's see. So again, guys, please make sure you join the Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's just really like a messaging platform. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all like this. Lord James says they're on a roll tonight. All right, TM Esquire. Good night. We'll catch you next time. The Don Team Chef. You know what? Say right.
That does not make sense. But more.
But oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's see. I've been playing around with. Actually, I stumbled upon the voice changer thing.
Yeah, I stumbled upon the voice changer when I was looking for this MP3.
That does not make sense. But more importantly, you have to ask yourself, what does this have to do with this case? Nothing.
So it's pretty cool. All right, I'll do the good night in the Morgan Freeman voice. Let's see. Were there any comments that I missed? Tim Martin says JMO is only 23. Yeah, man. A lot of people don't understand that. So the question from Tactical Sport: did they ever find the mysterious Lions fan that harassed the Vikings' wives? Not to my knowledge. Did anybody ever? Did you guys hear about this? Any arrests made? Any arrests made? You know, anything? Did they find anything? Did they find any evidence? Did they identify a man? No. Joseph Fan says Sewell is only 23. That is wild. Yeah, that dude is huge. All right, let me see. Oh, Joseph Fan was on the phone with his sister. David Lyon says, dope. Make sure y'all do this again, Don P. Oh, for sure, man. For sure. It's just scheduling, that's all. You know. So I asked Derek if he wanted to come on the show on Friday. He was like, he had the time. So he came through. Stephen Williams says, when is the next collaboration? I'll probably ask Derek if he wants to come through on like during the divisional round, maybe that week. I'm gonna ask Herman Moore to be on. I don't know if he'll have time. So yeah, like when I do the game preview, I'm gonna try to do one with Herman. So we'll see. Joseph Fan, most of the show was with Derek. So if you want to go back and rewatch it. Yeah, so I have to make sure I reach out to the young lady that he gave me the information for to try to book him on the show. So I will do that. I will send that message today when we get off. Yeah, Herm is cool. So yeah, I would have to get Lomas through Herm. So that's probably something we could do. With Derek and Easy. Yeah, that would be cool. Easy's been sick. He's been sick, so he hasn't even been on his show all week. Do I know a contact for Barry or Megatron? No. I would like to get one for Barry for sure. If Barry came on my show, I would just be sitting there the whole time like, tell us more, Barry. Yeah, we definitely needed those 2 weeks to recover. It was definitely something we needed. Your ex used to do Barry's windows when he was younger? That's dope. Yeah, for those that have been with me for a long time, they know that Barry Sanders is my football father. I don't even know if I would have been interested in football like I was if it wasn't for Barry Sanders. Herm offered me some like memorabilia and stuff to give away or to just have. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I'll be like, when I get 1,000 followers, I'll give away a Herm Edwards signed football or jersey or something. I didn't hear anything about the alleged Vikings fan incident involving real vibes of Vikings. Besides Rick Straw, is anyone else coming back? I mean, who else could come back? Rodrigo's not coming back. Aleem ain't coming back. Speaking of not coming back, bro, I forgot to say something about this. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson. Did y'all hear that Deshaun Watson retore his Achilles? Grinch, are you a Vikings fan? I hope you are, because guess what? You have no rings either. Bro, Mr. Amon-Ra, I stopped checking for that dude, man. I stopped checking for Mosley, like, at all. All right, Celine 313. I definitely don't know about shoveling no snow. Not out here. You see me, I'm sweating. Got the brow glistening. But Mr. Morale, did you hear anything about him? Watson is like Mr. Glass for us. Yeah, it's funny we're talking about Watson and we're talking about Mosley in the same conversation. Yeah, I just like you root for him, you want him to succeed. But the body can't hang up. It can't hold up. Hey, listen, man. I'm not. I would actually rather be cold than hot. You know what I mean? Because when you're hot, you can't do a whole lot about it. Like, we got the AC on. I thought I would be safe. I ain't. He was put on a non-football illness, so his season is over. Because he missed the last game with an illness, so I don't know if it's the flu or COVID or I don't know what it's supposed to be. Half an inch in El Paso, Texas. See, if I would have to drive up to the mountains to experience snow. My favorite player in the 70s was Mean Joe Green. That's what's up. Oh, that's what's up. Too bad it's the ex. If it was the current, it'd be like this. Slide me the contact information. Tell him I'm gonna call. Laurie King says, Chef, I lived in Texas from 2013 to October 2023 in Dallas, Texas, before moving back to Michigan. I missed the cold and snow. I hate it so hot that walking dogs at night. Yeah, hot is uncomfortable. Cold is like, once you get to, a comfortable temperature, you get warm enough, you're good. You don't have to worry no more. Yeah, we already know Demo's coming back. He said, I thought it might be the vid. It's possibly. The Me and Joe Green Pepsi commercial. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, cold, you can just keep adding layers. Hot, there's only so much you can remove. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think Deshaun is done, bro. I think he definitely should be done in Cleveland. And I think that contract he got, it was probably the last one. But, I mean, it was so huge, he should be set for life. Because he's not getting any broadcasting jobs or anything of that nature. If he does anything to make money involving football, I think he'll probably have to be behind the scenes of something. I'm gonna head out here in about 5 minutes. Get my day started. It was Coke, wasn't it? Yeah. Watson can open up a massage parlor of his own. I mean, eventually, what I mean by him being done in Cleveland, doesn't he have, what does he have, about 2 more years left on that contract? Brent DeWitt said, miss one of the worst winters in Michigan history, but survived one of the worst winters in Germany in 78. All right, Joseph, we will see you later. Like I said, I don't know if y'all want to come to a watch party and we can do some AFC playoff watching. Yeah, I don't mean that they'll let him go. I just they'll do something. They'll do something with it. Depending on how it's structured, you might find a trade partner at some point, but I don't know what his last couple of years are as far as cap hits. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And as Paul Thomas said, can't stand Pepsi. I'm more of a Pepsi person than a Coke person.
The Motor City Cats are back at it. We came to give you stats, not said it. But whatever you do, I mean, I can't tell you what to do. But if you want to take my advice, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out of here. Peace.